Why, hello, and welcome to another episode of First Chances with Chance. Ugh. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about working in fast food industry. It's fun, but it definitely has its downsides, especially when you work with somebody who doesn't know what the frick they're doing. It definitely gets tedious, and then especially when you have your regulars. I had a lot of regulars, especially at the one store that I worked at. They if one person made their drink wrong, they're like, "This doesn't taste right," and then I would go and look at them. I was like, "I got you." I knew exactly what they ordered. I still know some of the people's orders that when I see them, like the caramel latte for Greg. Not saying their real name. But they liked extra caramel. They didn't. You don't know that they like extra caramel, but you know that they like extra caramel. They don't even have to say it. You can literally give a half an extra pump and it'd be perfect. And they constantly come back, especially in the morning, too. Because I did mornings at one store, and then I did nights at another store at one point. Yeah, don't even ask me. I'm sure that you guys have already realized that I am insane. Not literally insane, but you know. But yeah, I'm insane because I'm about to I'm filming this, editing, then going straight to school, getting out of school, eating, then going right to an event. Busy day, packed, jam packed. I actually don't know what time my lab class is gonna get out today because it's still the beginning of it's the actual first day. So I'm sure that it's just gonna be the introductory class. We're not gonna do any labs. She's gonna go over that we need a lab book, this, that, and the other. Da, 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 da. But starting next week, we're probably gonna go into doing lab, and I'm not gonna have a lab book. I mean, I could probably also order a lab notebook off of Amazon for $15, which will definitely help me in the long run because especially with this class, but then I'd have to order another one. Whatever. It's better than spending $50 on one at the school. So that is definitely a plus. Yes, I know I got sidetracked, but there's literally the outfit that I'm wearing to school. So yeah, and then I have my jug of water. Yeah, a big jug of water. Big jug. That's the only thing I don't like is the sound that the straw makes. But let's see what time I am at. I'm already at 10 a.m.'s water. And this is about a liter, 1.8 liters, I think it said. And it was in the dollar section at Target. So that is awesome. And this will be what I use for my walks. And because I have a big one, not that big. Last year they had one because the same one from 2 years ago that my mom literally ended up washing the dishwasher. The first one she ended up washing in the dishwasher. The second one I bought, I don't let her wash it at all because the one that she ran in the dishwasher warped, and so now I don't let her wash any of my water bottles in the dishwasher. Plus, I only have 3 water bottles. Well, 2 including this one and the other one, and then I have a tumbler that I used to use for my humidifier. Right? Yeah. Sorry, I woke up at 8:30. It is 9 o'clock right now, and I have to be to the bus stop by 10:45. Today's gonna be a long day, and the only reason why I have to film today is because I didn't film my podcast last Thursday when I was supposed to. But this Thursday, I will be filming my podcast again for next week because starting next week, I am back in school. Like, officially back in school. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. I couldn't film because my mom was home. But let's get back to working fast food. So yeah, I had my regulars that would always come in. There was one time that one of my coworkers at night literally messed up their drink. I don't know how he messed up their drink, but he messed up their drink. I literally was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I got you." Like when they said that the drink was wrong, he was literally about to remake it. I was like, "Nah, you ain't remaking shit because it's been happening. It literally happened like 4 times that night." And I'm just like, what in the hell are you doing? Like, I get the, like, burning food and whatever, but drinks, those are simple. Those are literally simple to make. Like, I literally can still make them at home. It's funny because when I first started working there, I made, like, a whole entire notebook of the drinks, and then I just, like, didn't even, like, well, it was mainly to study all of them. And when I first started, because it was my first job, so of course I'm gonna do that. I don't know if everybody does that, but yeah. Um, Other than that, like I know a couple people that have done that, that have done a notebook to with all the drinks and how to make them. Like even after corporate changed the way that we're supposed to make the drinks, which I doubt that they ever made them, and they're like, oh, it has to be done this way. No, honey, people don't like it that way. It's freaking watered down when you put the ice in. No, they wanted. I think they said that they wanted the ice in afterwards. Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck? No, no. I put Actually, yeah, they want no. What we would do is we would melt the sugar with hot coffee. Like if you're getting iced coffee, we would melt the sugar with the hot coffee, and then we would put the creamer, the ice, and then we would fill it up with the regular iced coffee. Like the melting the sugar, you're not gonna you're not good. What the frick? You're not gonna really tell the difference. It's gonna be the same exact way. Um, it's just that like when we melt the sugar, you're not gonna taste the sugar granules. They didn't want us melting the sugar, so you would literally taste the sugar granules, which is really stupid. Like I get it. Like in the mornings I did whatever. But at night I would go back to the regular way that I was making it because it's just like we have the people that know how we make it and they expect a specific taste. How are you going to get a specific taste when they still can taste the granules? They want the sugar to be spread out. They're literally going to come back and be like, my coffee isn't right. It's not sweet enough. I need more sugar. And then we'll put more sugar and it'll still be like that. Like, come on, corporate. Come on. Stay up with the times. Think smarter. Like, literally when I first started, I was trained to melt the sugar. Same thing with the hot coffee. We'll pour the hot coffee over the sugar. We'll do the sugar, pour the hot coffee over it, melt it, swish it around to melt it, and then put the creamer and then the coffee again. Or like what I would do is I would literally put the sugar, then the syrup, melt that all together, stir it, then put the hot coffee, because then it just blends in together because you're putting sweet and sweet. Like, come on. and then it makes the syrup or the flavoring spread throughout the coffee a lot better because it's already melted. Like, it's a thick syrup. It's not gonna melt that easily. But let's go ahead and take a break, and then I will be back with some horror stories of working in the fast food industry. So when I worked at Dunkin', there was a time that a ladder literally almost fell on my head. I was standing in the doorway, but 2 seconds later, right where the ladder had fallen, I was literally standing right there. Had I been standing there, I would have had to go to the hospital. And then there was another time that I was not sick, but I had just taken antibiotics. I don't know why I've been saying antibiotics. Like, hello, antibiotics. So all I had that day was a big old, it was busy. I think it was Christmas Eve or something, because I know that, like, when we used to close at 11, so now they close at 8, but back then when I was still in high school and I was still working there, we closed at 11, so on the holiday, we closed at 8, and I kept telling people, like, hey, we're closed. People kept coming in. Well, not coming in, like, I closed all the doors, so all they could do was come through the drive-thru. Well, I locked all the doors so that they wouldn't be able to come in because we were closed, like, hello. But people just kept coming. I kept trying to eat. It was so busy I was not able to eat. I kept having to go to the bathroom, and yeah, we're not going to go to that part. But I literally was so lightheaded. What my coworker said, that after coming out of the bathroom the last time, I literally looked pale. Like I was already dead. Oh. Just a notification. My skin was pale, I looked lifeless, and it was not a good sight. She let me go home. Like, we had already had everything done. So it's not like I wasn't, like, all we really would have had to do was make the drinks because we had no food. We already had shut the oven off and just, yeah. It was not fun at all that night. And then, of course, I get bitched at because, like, yeah, I picked up that shift. Whatever. How the hell was I supposed to know that I was going to wake up sick? It wasn't contagious, so it should not have been that big of a deal. The only thing that pissed us off was the fact that people kept coming in, even after we told them that we were closed. I mean, not coming through the drive-thru. Like, we were closed, people. Like, I'm not making... I literally wanted to tell them, we're not making any more drinks. We're closed. But I know that's not how she was. She let me go home because, like, I was shivering by that point. I was shivering, and driving home, I was shaking. I had a blanket wrapped around me. I know I shouldn't have been driving home, but I got home. And look at me, I'm still alive. And that's not something to brag about. But whatever. I am just glad that I no longer work there. This will be a short episode. I will now read from an article. And yes, I have this phone charging because evidently I didn't charge it last night. So, from an article from Tough Nickel, How to Survive Your Fast Food Job. Written by Paige A. Melton. Oh, and this is recently, too. September 8th, 2022. Start your shift off right. Starting off right isn't just about making a good impression, it's also about helping yourself. Have you seen a coworker who came to work in a bad mood? They may seem more rude, blunt, or even act like they don't care about the customers or their job. That's no way to help yourself advance in the company or make your shift go by, even if you truly don't like your job. Those minutes will drag by as you groan about having to serve another customer or flip another patty, and people may even start to avoid you. People enjoy being around positive people, and that's a fact. So I literally had ended up getting 2 people fired, not to brag, but like one of them stole from the tip jar. Like we've had guests steal from the tip jar. Like it's no joke. We don't take it lightly because that's our money that guests are literally, well, not guests, customers are giving us because we did such a good job. We made their drink fast, like so on and so forth. Like I know one of the guests that like they still come to Target. Like, come on, I know y'all stole money from the tip jar. Like it was empty right after. But then like the coworker literally did it to to somebody else, that like one of my friends that I worked with, and it was just like they tried splitting it in half with them, and I'm just like, no, like that you're gonna get caught. So I told the manager, I know, whatever. It's just that like we don't take that shit lightly. We do not take it lightly because what we did was we put all the tips into a bag and put it into the office, which, yeah. But that, and then I don't remember how the other one got fired. I do not know. I don't want an ad. But let's go on with the article. It may seem like such a simple thing, but starting your day right can really have a positive impact on your job. Smile, strike a confident pose, anything to boost your mood. You'll find that you are more friendly to your coworkers and customers if you are happy. Eating before work can help your mood also. No one likes to work on an empty stomach. If you are still exhausted from the day before or you just couldn't sleep before your shift, definitely drink some coffee or an energy drink. If you're tired, chances are you're glumpy. What the heck is glumpy? I don't know. I'm not looking it up though. I've worked at a fast food restaurant that was open 24 hours. That can be really tiring. I know. You're going to want to go home and sleep for a day, but in reality, you have to return to work in 8 hours. If you're getting really unhealthy hours, talk to your boss. There is no reason they cannot work out something with you to make sure you are working as efficiently as possible. How to work through a rush, which is actually pretty easy. You know that time, it's the same time every day, rush hour. That's, be honest, everyone dreads it for how busy and sometimes out of control things get. But it does make that hour fly by. After just 3 years in fast food, I have learned a few ways to handle those rushes. No, asking for a bathroom break is not the way to handle it. It really isn't. But I remember being on, like, my first time being on a register as well. I definitely did not know what the heck I was doing. I'd only used the cafeteria register once at my mom's school. Wow, I am definitely tired still. I probably didn't go to bed until 12, so, yeah. But I definitely did not know how what I was doing. I know I put stuff in wrong. Literally after I got off work, I had a mental breakdown and told my mom that I think they're gonna fire me. Yeah, but turns out they kept me because like it was my first day. Like what the heck? I needed a few days of training. Like but like I also got frustrated, so I also did snap on one of the coworkers. But I did apologize. So, yeah. And it wasn't like I didn't know them. Except that you will be busy, people will get agitated, and food products will be cooking instead of being served. The sooner that you don't get upset by this, the better the rush will seem. I know that the customer has complained about wanting their burger for 5 minutes and explaining that there are 10 other people in front of them just doesn't click, but there's nothing you can do. So smile, be polite, assure them that their burger is on its way, and apologize for the time and inconvenience. Some people will understand, others may want a refund. But we're going to go ahead and take another break, and I will be right back. I gotta go blow my nose. Other than dealing with products on hold, learning to work around and with your coworkers is invaluable. This comes from someone who is a cashier. Learn the patterns of your coworkers. Do they give the drinks out first? Put the burger in a certain place? I'm sure your fry person is getting tired of you bumping into them while you reach for that small fry. Maneuvering around them is essential to being speedy. Is there something you can help them with to move the production along quicker? Salt the fries, make their drinks, or even help make some burgers, provided you know how. Most importantly, breathe. It's a rush. It won't last all day. Even if it does, you still get to clock out eventually. Get to know your coworkers. I cannot tell you how important it is to have friends in your workplace. They don't have to become your best friend or even someone you hang out with every weekend, but it gets very lonely when you have no one to talk to or help you during your shift. I'm also not saying to befriend everyone. If you are, then that's great. But that's not possible for most people, especially those who work for larger restaurants. If something comes up, say a death in the family or another event that you need to take off for, then a coworker you are friends with is more likely to cover your shift. But if the need arises, you should always repay them by covering their shift in turn. It's not fair for them to cover for you and then you tell them that you don't want to work that day. Never use your coworkers for your personal gain, as everyone can see that, and no one will want to work around someone who is like that. Gotta take another sip of the water. That don't seem right. That don't seem right. Be eager to learn. There are many positions in a fast food restaurant. Not all places use the same work rules. It's good to know how to work a lot of the machines or do certain duties above and beyond what they originally taught you. You will never progress in the company if you just stick to one place. A lot of managers will probably be eager to teach you a new place, provided you are a hard worker and at least mildly good at the station they usually assign you. The more positions you know, the more valuable you are to the company. While you may dislike certain duties more than others, and while you may even be assigned to the ones you dislike more than the ones you like, your managers will still be proud of you and want you to work more. This greatly helps your chances of moving up in the company because really, why are you working there if you aren't trying to advance yourself within the organization? Learn to accept failure. You will make mistakes. You may even think that you failed as an employee. Accept it. Accept that everyone is there, that everyone in there has made a mistake and probably felt the way you do. Even your general manager made mistakes, especially when they were just starting. Mistakes are an opportunity to learn, and you should never be ashamed of learning. I know most of you are probably tired of hearing it's okay to make mistakes, but it really is okay. I remember making some big mistakes. It was my first job and I wasn't sure about what all items we had nor where to find them on my terminal, which is the computer system, the POS system, whatever you want to call it. I took forever to take this order and I charged them for 4 large burgers when they only wanted 4 child-sized burgers. I didn't realize my mistake until I tried to give them the food and they were upset. Being a new employee, I couldn't just get into my drawer and give them their money back. I had to get my manager and explain what happened. I remember her being furious at me since the price difference was so big. But you know what? We moved on. I became one of their best workers and we are still in touch today. I'm not in touch with Duncan. One mistake doesn't mean you aren't cut out for the job. Don't quit over miscounted change, making a burger wrong, or even burning a basket of fries. Get upset that it happened, but then get over it and forget about it. Your mistakes are going to seem huge to you when most people will forget about them within a few minutes. Have fun at my job. Yes. If your restaurant has downtime, you'll often find that people have found a way to entertain themselves. If it is safe and not against regulations, try to join in. I remember that some friends and I used to make wacky combinations with our soda machine and see if they were good. Somewhere, raspberry cola doesn't mix well with anything, but vanilla Sprite and cherry Sprite together taste like red Skittles. What? I gotta try that. But at Dunkin', what I used to do is I used to make like fun drinks, like make my own fun drinks, mix flavors that are like wouldn't necessarily be mixed together, like a splash of this, a couple of pumps of that, pump of that, and oh my god, when I tell you that they tasted so good, Doing these things will help your shift go by and even help you not dread going to work as much anyway. If you have... Oh, and that is the article. We're gonna go ahead and do the outro. I love this episode. Like, it was a fun episode. Like, going over the past. Like, I've gone over on my YouTube channel before, like a couple of videos. The disaster videos. I haven't really talked about like in depth of like the fast food industry. Like I said, I worked at 2 different Dunkins. They were the same owner. Speaking of which, the owner is actually tearing down the one I used to close that most of the time. But the reason, like, I would switch back and forth at nights. Like, I literally asked for one night at the store that I started at, mainly so that I could like be with like a couple friends. Because like when they moved me to the other store, without like they left me there. Like, I picked up a shift and they left me there. I'm just like, what in the hell? I don't think so, people. But if you guys would like to leave your guys' fast food stories or even helpful tips, text or leave a voicemail to voicemail. Why do I keep saying voicemail? Voicemail to 561-320-7085. Again, text or leave a voicemail to 561-320-7085. DM First Chances with Chance on Instagram. Or if you guys are watching the video portion, just comment down below. Bye guys. Love you.